All right, here's the drill. Bow staff, stance work. So the idea is to keep your knees bent. How low can you go? We're going to do a little bit of extreme training on this, but we want to make sure that we can bend our knees. We're going to use this as a point of reference. If I can keep this from falling on the floor, then I'm training my leg enough to keep it up. So I'm going to start with the front stance. I'm going to take the bow staff, and I'm just going to lean it to the side. And I'm going to bend my knee just enough so that it doesn't fall, okay? If I let up on the knee, then I'm going to lose the bow staff, and it's going to hit me in the foot, which is unpleasant. So the goal is to keep this guy right here. So I'm going to practice standing here I got a good balance here. If I'm finding I'm having trouble, then I need to bend my knee a little bit more. Okay, so we're just going to hold it there. Now, I'm going to see if I can transition into a back stance from here. So keeping that up, keeping that knee bent, I'm going to bring myself into a back stance. And I want that knee bent deep so that I don't lose my bow staff. If I lift up too much, I'm going to start to lose the bow staff. So I'm going to keep that nice and low. From the same stance, I can transition into a middle stance, and I can practice it on this side. Then I want to try it on this side. Okay? Right like that. So now if my knees are bent enough, bow staff isn't going to fall. If I let up and start to relax my legs and get into a sloppy middle stance, then I lose my bow staff. In advanced practice, you take that middle stance and you try to suspend the staff all on its own. This is a little bit more difficult. So if we do it in the middle stance, get into a deep middle stance, we have to have that back straight. This is a lot harder to do, and I don't recommend you do this until you master the first one. But now, if I get really low, I can hold that bow staff up, okay? And then the idea here is I want to focus on keeping this bow staff nice and balanced so that I train my legs, all right? Do the same thing with the front stance. You have to get real deep. This is deeper than you did for the just off the side. Right here, put that up right close to your hip. Try to balance that there. Find the center point, find the midpoint where it's going to balance. Okay, we got our front stance here. We do the same thing with the back stance. Back stance, you have to go really deep. Okay, here, balance it just like that. Don't cheat and pinch it. Just like that, keep it balanced. Okay, we do it on the other side. See what I'm doing. Just like that. Don't let our knife in the block and balance it right there. Okay. So just something you can do with the bow staff. Gives you a point of reference, something to work on other than just standing in a stance. So you actually have to do the stance a little bit more extreme, which is good because we want to strengthen those legs so that when you actually do the stance for the form, it's a piece of cake because we practiced in the extreme. So when I say do a middle stance, we're not going to do a middle stance way down here. Like when we do our form, we're not going to be way down here. We're going to be relaxed a little bit. So what I see the students do is they start off strong on maybe one side, but eventually they go to their relaxed position. We want to move their relaxed position from here to here. So instead of training here, we're going to train here so that when you relax, this feels more natural. And then your relaxed position is less likely to be this. So we say like bend your knees, yeah, okay, just a little bit more. It's a piece of cake because you've trained those upper quad muscles. If you don't train them, then keeping that middle stance through or that low position in all your stances in the form becomes a lot more difficult if you haven't trained these muscles. Okay, so that's just an exercise that you can try and maybe you try with the students.